welcome back to the channel and another episode of Scooby-Doo reactions for the new Scooby-Doo movies. So we are getting through the season 2 of the new Scooby-Doo movies before we get into more regular Scooby-Doo. No statistics at all this entire pretty much series, and this is going to be episode 4 called The Spirit Spooked Sports Show, released on September 29th, 1973. The previous 3 episodes of this season have been very lackluster because they've been basically added on characters from previous shows that were like 50 years old. They really didn't do it for me. Hopefully this one will be much better. As always, I'll be reacting to the last 12 minutes in the actual YouTube video, but the first 30 or so minutes, depending on where it ends off, I will be reacting to it on my own, writing notes for a summary until we get into the 20-minute increments, which are a lot better to kind of edit and work towards and work through. Let's just go right into a synopsis, I think. Returning to Velma's old high school, the gang meets the coach, Tim Conway, who's about to lose his job if they can't help but rid him of the ghost of a former athlete. Then Tim Conway was a famous actor who wanted experience as an athletic coach by trying out at the high school where Velma Dinkley used to attend. And in real life, Tim Conway lived from 1933 to 2019. And Velma's old high school, it's a nice, creepy area, pretty fun. And it's one of the ones that also kind of ruined her kind of history because it strongly suggested that she graduated from there. The previous series suggested Mr. Ink went to the same school, and a pup named Scooby-Doo retconns her as having lived in Coolsville. So it's kind of all over the place for continuity wise, but it's whatever. Still makes it fun. And so here's the notes. Apparently it's also voted as one of the best episodes by Scooby-Doo fans. That's what I was excited about going into it. The episode begins driving through Velma's hometown where they see her old high school and that it's all ready to go for a sports day benefit show. Near this field, they see a bunch of construction vehicles and Fred almost gets flattened by a truck going by. And Velma points out that nobody's actually driving when Daphne suggests that they get the driver's license plate number. And then they head into the stadium, which is deserted, of course. And inside, they meet Jesse Finster, the school custodian. And that the old custodian has disappeared, so a suspect right there already. And he then tells them that the sports show is postponed due to the haunting of Fireball McFane, who apparently was a super athlete 30 years ago that suddenly disappeared. And that's when Tim Conway shows up as the new coach as he's preparing for a movie. They then go to the locker room where Fireball McFane shows up and gives everyone a fright. And then after that, they kind of just all go their separate ways where they then talk to Mr. William Griffith, the school principal, who doesn't recognize Velma, which he finds unusual. And then he then explains that the school is closed down as they don't have financial aid and it's haunted and all that. So normal Mystery Machine stuff, just laying down the groundwork. And that's when the only way to raise money is established as being the sports benefits show. But Mr. Teller, who's donating money to the school, shows up and explains he's discontinuing his funds and that the land must be sold. So Tim Conway calls a meeting in the gym where he shows off his coaching skills to win Mr. Teller over. And he manages to convince him that Scooby and Shaggy are world-class athletes. Mr. Teller then decides that he will watch the show tomorrow and decide whether to spend his money or not. So the gang and Scooby and Shaggy have a chance to save the school. Alright, and we're just going to get right off into it. So the gang kind of split up, and Tim Conway, Shaggy, and Scooby on a plank by a pool as the ghost kind of chases after them. Just been a bit quiet. So there's obviously 2 suspects because there's Fireball and the guy that moved the lever. Just a bit quiet.
Boy, this is exhausting work. Yeah, I know.
And of course he landed right with his buddy.
Poor little ducky. He gave his all. Uh-oh, here comes Fireball.
They're really ragdolling this dude around, man. Holy crud. And nice little big cello case.
With pleasure.
Boom, easy peasy captured.
I'd say the case is closed.
Well, that was it.
Aw, come on, girls. It wasn't that corny.
That wasn't us, Moni.
Yeah, there's that second one.
From in there. These are just the clothes we need. And these.
Yeah, there's a mask and everything.
So it's you.
It's who, Fred?
An old friend of yours, Velma, and the key to the mystery.
Oh, they're not going to show. It's going to be a secret face reveal.
Make a new man out of you.
There's been too much playing already.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Kind of having a bit of a fun with the ghost.
Strike one.
Of trying to get him to swing and everything. So, kind of like a real thing. Kind of interesting.
Strike 34, 40, 45. You're out. So are we. Let's scram.
They really ragdoll him around, man, and he immediately dumped him in a trash can. Easy peasy. Captured.
Yeah, you might say you got canned.
Oh, brother, is that all you got to do? Is
Yeah,
sit
and a
around?
cello in a trash can. One of the more creative ideas they captured them before.
It can't be. I thought he was the ghost.
My suspicions exactly.
Thank heavens you kids are okay.
You wanted to get rid of us.
I do for your own good, before that would-be ghost harms you.
You mean ghosts?
I don't get it.
No, but these two will.
Yeah, there's two ghosts.
About 20 years. Now for the de-ghosting.
Yeah, double ghosts.
A school principal? I can't believe it.
Oh,
You're
wow,
right.
yeah.
It isn't the principal. It's his twin brother.
Oh, really? Oh, my gosh. Evil twin brother styles.
They used the ghost gimmick
That's
so
a
their
bit of a
bosses could
fun
buy the
reveal.
school cheap. Yes, for a gambling operation. All they had to do was bulldoze down the
Nice.
school in
Gambling,
Fresno.
we've seen
An
that kind
instant
of thing
racetrack.
before.
They even hired your company's bulldozers, Mr. Teller.
Hoping to make everyone think I was behind their crooked scheme.
Yeah,
Those fake ghosts didn't
that's
fool
not
me.
bad.
I can see right through
A
'em.
bit
That's
boring.
because they were only images. Movies of the ghost that looked real against the fog and the darkness.
These projectors were set up
excuse me.
everywhere and controlled
Yeah,
from up
and
there by
just
one of the two
projector
ghosts.
ghosts
See,
as always.
This is movie history.
Yes.
So that's why it seemed the spirit of Fireball McBain was everywhere.
Had some fun
Well,
parts,
thanks
though.
to you kids and Coach
But-
Conway, the school is saved.
I saw them work out today, and I don't know who's worse, they or their coach.
Well, here's a great exercise. First, you raise your right leg. Then you raise your left leg.
In
Then
cartoon
you jog to the
physics.
nearest hospital.
Don't worry, sir. All they
Come on,
need is the
guys.
proper inspiration. I know just how we can supply it.
Oh, it's the ghost, of course. No Scooby Snacks. I think that's also the first time. It's always Scooby wearing the costume at the end, but this time it was Fred. That's honestly a surprise.
Impossible. Not really. After all, an athlete's only as good as his ghost. And let's face it, when you're hot, you're hot. And right now, I feel red hot.
Gee, I thought you didn't smoke.
I don't, but I am. Yow!
That's was a bit stilted. Not bad, but stilted.
Wait, folks, it's a late entry. And look at Bill. He's really turning up the track.
Yeah, the coach is really bringing the distance. Wow, hurdle over everything. Where's everybody else on this freaking sideline? And another, oh my gosh, just a bucket of water. That's funny.
Congratulations, Coach Conway. I want to offer you a 20-year contract.
Plus
Oh my
a
God.
$1,000 bonus.
Oh, no thanks. I decided to go back to being a comedian. I guess I'm sort of, stuck with it.
Okay.
Right, team? What?
Nice, simple episode to end it off. Overall, pretty meh. I know it's a fan favorite, but the ghosts are not imposing. They're probably the least interesting kind of ghosts / spirits we've had. They just look like two old guys from back in the day. The backstory of Velma going to a different school was interesting, but they retconned it anyways, so there's nothing to really be interested about. Tim Conway had some fun moments. I think he kind of beat things along, and it also helped that after 4 or 3 episodes to start off the second season, only having one guest star really kind of evened it out a little bit more, made it a little bit more interesting, and that the suspects, there was 3, but 2 ended up being the bad guys, so another kind of 2+ kind of bad guy. That was a bit fun. But for me, villains always make the episode interesting or not. Like one of my favorite episodes being Redbeard was because he talked, he kind of interacted with the crew. He had a lot of funny moments and really made it a lot more interesting. And so guests and villains for the new Scooby-Doo movies is what I'm looking for. And the guest was pretty decent. Didn't really laugh as much as I could have, but he still had some fun kind of levity areas. But the villain was mediocre at best. So for me, I think I'm going to get this episode. I think it's my favorite so far, season 2, which isn't saying very much, but I think I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. I just feel like it was a bit boring, especially since they retconned a lot of the stuff that they tried to explain in this episode. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter of like exciting it was or anything like that, or like finally learning some legit history, not just relatives that are only here for an episode. You know, we saw an actual school that they went to, but then it's just retconned like twice, so there's no point in it. So that's why I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. We'll see how the second half goes as we get into the last section of season 2, which I will be reacting to and releasing shortly. But for now, thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next time for another reaction. Have a great day.